Hi guys. So I literally just walked in the door. As you might imagine, it's been an extremely hectic week at work. So I had a chance to go upstairs and get myself a glass of milk, and that's pretty much it. And come on air here. Let me just get the YouTube event up. There we go. So today we are going to be building the walls, and you should be able to see some popsicle sticks just laid out here. That was me trying to get an idea of how many full popsicle stick size walls I'm going to be able to make, because really now there's going to be a lot of shorter walls. My wife and I are open concept kind of people, so we don't like a lot of big walls. A few short walls to delineate space, and that's about it. So I don't know how well you can see it here, but I've got the actual blueprints laid out, and we might have talked about this before. Garage. This is the entry door. There are 3 doors in the garage here. Entry door to the house mudroom. This is really kind of the mudroom with a kind of a side door out here, mudroom storage area kind of a thing. This is the hall. There's a 10 by 10 laundry room here. You come out here and it opens up. There's a hallway going down here to 2 12 by 12 bedrooms and a 5 by 5 bathroom. A small 3-foot hall going up here, and it's really just kind of to delineate the space between the great room here and then the kind of the bedroom areas here. So there's a pass through to the kitchen here. The wall obviously comes up to here. There's a doorway to a long pantry here. There's 2 doorways in the pantry, and that'll take you back out into the indoor kitchen with a door to the outdoor kitchen. There's another small 4 by 4 bathroom here, and then stairs going up. And on the upper level is where we're going to have the games room, my office, and a little bar area. This is the entry foyer here. 2 big 3-foot each, so 6-foot total double doors. So very big, in a large entry foyer here. So very large entry foyer here. That then just opens completely up into this great room here, where the sliding glass panels will slide all the way back to about here. That'll open up this whole wall to a roofed over kind of a lanai area out in the back deck. And then in the kitchen, same thing will happen, is the sliding glass doors will slide back to here. So you'll have, when the doors are all open, you'll have glass here and here, but the rest will all be open out into this kind of covered over lanai area right here. And this is all outdoor seating and stuff like that. I see we have people joining in already, so hi, welcome. This will be the only entrance to the personal wing. Short hallway here. You go left into the master bathroom, or you go right down a corridor, which will take you into the master bedroom, past a door which is my walk-in closet. Vicky's walk-in closet will start, so she'll have an entrance from the door here into the walk-in closet, and there will be also a door on the other side to allow her to go into the bathroom, so she'll be able to walk through. And if you notice, mine's this size and hers is double mine. And then eventually, so I'm going to do I'm going to do the patio area, and I'm actually going to do it all out into the pool too later on, assuming I have popsicle sticks left. But today, I figure I'm going to start down here in the garage area, and I'm going to really have to figure out how to do the windows. So, talked about this before. Oh, it's time to get the glasses on. So the scale here is that 1/2 inch of a popsicle stick equals 1 foot in real life. So this popsicle stick is just under 4.5 inches long, which means that it is, I have a wasp. Excuse me, I can't stand wasps. It flew away. Okay, so this popsicle stick is just under 9 feet. And actually, if I put the, so if I actually put the 2 popsicle sticks on the end the way that I make it, it actually comes up to just over 9 feet, which is interesting. So each of these walls, when I make them here, each of these walls, when I make them, they're going to be basically like this. So that will be 9 foot high. So that's essentially the height of my ceilings. Now in the garage, I've got 2 2-foot windows here, which yeah, so I'm gonna be able to, let me just try this here. I still want to use the jig whenever possible. Just to make sure things are as square as possible. And I mean, I already know from putting together the floors that even with this jig, it's not as good as I would like. Now, I'm pretty sure I've got enough room to put 2 of these here. If anybody wants to chat about anything, just chat, say something in the. Oh, somebody said good evening. Oh, it's Ulysses. Hi, Ulysses. Hey, Ulysses. Jerry and I are going to go see Pixels tomorrow night, so I'll let you guys know. In fact, I might actually do a an actual specialized, totally biased review. That might be my first real totally biased review after we see Pixels tomorrow night, and I'll put that up so you guys can see it. Okay, so let's look at this now. So when I look at this here, yeah. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to draw. Oh, something else I want to do too. Because, can you guys see this here? Yeah, because this is such a short wall here, I actually want to, I want to do, okay, I want to do this piece first, because that's going to allow this to be a little bit longer. And it will need to be, and I'm going to have to be doing a lot of this from now on, is figuring out how long these different pieces are going to be. So by doing this as the longer piece, it allows me to build this long, whereas if I had to push this up to the end, it would have made this piece half the size, which is far more difficult to put together. And I'm still going to do it the same way, because this still makes it square. So I'm actually pretty happy with the way this jig turned out. I mean, it's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but it's still pretty good. There we go. I'm going through glue a lot faster than I thought I would. I'll be honest, that's not quite ready to go in there yet. So yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to Pixels. I think we talked about this a little bit on Saturday or Sunday. I know it's going to be a stupid movie. Like I said, I don't normally like stupid, but I don't know. For some reason, I just get a good feeling about this one. Yeah, I wonder. Hey, right on. That is exactly the size in between my uprights here. That was pure luck. And I only cut one. I should have cut two. Wasn't thinking. Is this the right size? It is not the right size. This is why I kept all these bits. Oh, that looks like it's the right size. That is the perfect size. Can't remember what I was saying. Did I watch Deus Ex Mankind Divided? I have not watched Deus Ex Mankind Divided trailer yet. I'm going to have to write this down. Hold on. You had two games for me to try too, right? I can't remember what they are. Oh, hey, I did the calculations, and we're 17 hours in to get to this point. That's a lot. And remember me. Okay, cool. I'll write that down too. I just picked up, I've never seen this, I've never watched this, but I saw a trailer for it the other day, and I thought, why haven't I been watching this? And that's Falling Skies. So I haven't seen any of it yet, but it just looks like something I'd like. Okay, so that is going to go there, and I can probably actually, yeah, actually, that's almost perfect. I'm going to try as best I can to use accepted construction practices for this. Already I'm breaking things. There we go. Now this time, oh yeah, I'm going to do it there too because that's the shorter wall. Oh wow, that's perfect right there. Yeah, I had. I think my father-in-law had told me about Falling Skies before, and I never actually went out and watched it. And I'm kind of kicking myself now because, well, I mean, I still haven't watched it yet, so I don't know. I'll have to reserve my judgment until after I actually watch it. But two two movies I did watch on the weekend. I watched the Avengers, Black Widow, and Punisher team up. Didn't like it. It was fairly obviously done in Japan, and then brought back here. And a lot of the lines and the concepts that they were talking about in there were fairly obviously, translated and not perfectly, I guess, or they're just Japanese concepts, and they just didn't translate well. And that kind of popped me out of the storyline a couple of times. And as I said before, I don't like it when I'm popped out of the storyline. Which is weird because, I don't normally have an issue with anime or Japanimation or what have you. And I love Avengers stuff in general. And then the other one I watched, which started out annoying me, but kind of grew on me a little bit near the end, was Batman versus Robin. And that's kind of the story of Damian Wayne, or a story, I guess, of Damian Wayne after he comes to live with Bruce Wayne. And the Court of the Owls actually is the other plot point in that. I can't do that. That doesn't fit quite right. So what I'll have to do is bring that down here. And then do this. And I don't know, for a 10-year-old boy, even a 10-year-old boy that was brought up by Ra's al Ghul, he was A, a little bit too cocky for me, and then B, a little bit too skilled. I mean, a 10-year-old boy took down Nightwing. And that just brings me out of the story. And then the other thing that happened, which this is kind of a cliche, and it kind of bugs me when it happens. So near the beginning or close to the middle of the movie, Batman meets the Owl Talons. Never heard of either of them. Might have to check out Batman versus Robin. Yeah. So, spoilers. If you don't want to hear spoilers, wait till I move the can. So, Batman meets the bad guys, who are, I mean, I won't tell you too much about them, but he meets the bad guys and he gets his ass kicked. And then near the end of the movie, he meets those same bad guys. He's doing nothing different, and he kicks their asses. Like, you can tell whether or not he's going to win by how far through the movie it is. And that's lousy writing. I'm sorry. He didn't do anything different. And all of a sudden, they're falling like flies, whereas, 40 minutes earlier, he was practically blowing them up, and they weren't dying. So, like, that bugs me. That's lazy writing. So, spoilers over. Yeah. I've seen other movies that, get around that in better ways. Like Spider-Man, perfect example. Spider-Man was famous for this back in the old like early 70s, late 60s, early 70s cartoons. Is Spider-Man would meet up with some new villain and he'd get his ass kicked. Sometimes it would be, you know, he'd just literally just get his ass handed to him. Sometimes his web fluid would fail him. And he, you know, he'd just run out of web fluid. Like, okay, stupid, you know, learn to fill it up next time. But what then he would do is he would go away and he would figure out what it was he did wrong. Maybe make a new web fluid, maybe come up with a new tactic, something. And then he'd go back and he'd kick the other guy's ass. And there was always a good reason why he lost the first time and won the second time. I don't like it when they don't have a good reason why you lose the first time but win the second time. That's too warped. I think I've told you guys before, my wife's away right now. So I've been watching a lot of TV. I watched American Ninja Warrior last night. That has a strange appeal to me. All it is a bunch of guys running an obstacle course. And when I was young, I might have been able to do it, young and in shape. But nowadays, there's no way. I'll be honest, I would like to get back into that kind of shape. But it takes a lot of effort, and I'm a lot lazier than I was back then. Not to my wife. Ulysses is saying it has a strange appeal to everyone. Yeah, not to my wife. She could not care less about it, which is weird because she's ex-military too. I honestly thought it would appeal to her more. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, you know what I did? Crap. Come on. Ow. That's not so bad. This is mostly dry. I'm mostly cooled off already. I'm trying real hard to keep an eye on the chat this time. But then again, I think I've come to the conclusion that I'm never going to figure my wife out. I'm pretty sure she wants it that way. But then again, all women are the same in that respect. I'm what you call thick. Ah! It works. Oh, no, this is interesting, too. Guy across the street is hiding in his garage. I don't get it. There we go. So now the next thing I'm going to do, so now that I've got this, can you guys see this? Yeah, okay. Now that I've got this, now what I'm going to do is the same kind of thing that they do in construction, and I'm going to put a top plate on it. That's not long enough, so I'm going to cut a new one. And that top plate is going to hold everything in place. Hold on. There we go. Except that I got something wrong here. Ain't it always the way? I have a weird neighborhood, yeah. I'm not even sure if I want to take that off. Actually, I think I do. There we go. So, first walls. Ta-da! I'm thinking I want to take that apart now. Ah! Isn't that terrible? The problem is, I don't know how I did it, but I made this one here, this one out here, just the tiniest bit too long. Ah, the hell with it. I'm leaving it. I'm leaving it. So now, put that there. Now I mark the windows. And what I do here, what I got to do here now is, so I got to cut several. I want the windows at this part of the garage, I think, to be 4 feet high, which is 2 inches, which is not that. Actually, I'm going to have to cut a bunch of these. Where's my... So now I need to cut 4 of them at 2 inches. There you go. Actually, I just leave that one. Let's mark one at 2 inches so I know where I'm going. Actually, I'm going to need more than this because they're also, well, they're only 3 feet wide, not 4 feet wide. Okay. That's not quite going to work either. Crap! Okay. So there's my 4 feet high. And I put these on the marks. I can only do 3 of them on this one. I'm going to have to do the 4th one on the next one. Now, theoretically, I should put one in the middle here for support, but it's a popsicle stick house. It's not going to have that kind of weight on it. Then I take a 3-foot one and I put it across here. Actually, you know what else I could have done? I could have just put them all the way up and then put one in the cross piece in the center there. I'll try that next time, see how it does. I'm kind of making this stuff up as I go along. Okay, so 3 feet is 1.5 inches. So we'll take that. Now, that should fit here. Okay, which will now let me do this. Yeah, I definitely should have run them straight up and then just put that in the center because I've actually got to box that whole thing out. All right, maybe that's what I do. Maybe I just take it all off. It's hot glue. Heat it up again. Put a couple of these puppies in. I do play Magic the Gathering, yes. I enjoy it very much. I actually started playing Magic the Gathering back in '93. Pretty sure it was '93. I owned my own store for a little while. But then in '98, we closed the store. And in 2000, I want to say, I sold my collection. But I just started buying more cards again with Dragons of Tarkir. When Dragons of Tarkir came out, I started buying some more cards. Just playing kind of casually. I still have my Magic the Gathering Online account, and I also play Duels of Planeswalkers 2015. Yes, I'm super old school. You play regular, like real card Magic, or do you play online? And by the way, I know there are other people in the channel. I can see that you're there. So, say something. Say hi. Join the conversation. Perfect. So let's go up an inch and a half. Inch and a half. No, sorry, 2 inches up. And another inch and a half above that. There we go. So these are high windows because they're in my garage, right? They're really only there to get some light into the garage, some natural light into the garage. Yeah, I've played in some tournaments here in my town, but I'm not very good anymore. I actually played in a couple Pro Tour events once, and I actually beat one of the Pro Tour winners once. Well, 1 out of 3 I beat him. He beat me the other 2 out of 3 and advanced and ended up winning. But there we go. So that's that. Now, I'll do this here. But I'm not so good anymore. I don't have a great record anymore. So I'm going to try and get all of. Oh no, I don't want to do that. Ha! Shoot. Okay. Because the other window's got to go in there. That's why I did that there. I'm pretty sure of it. Yeah, the other window's got to go in there. Okay. So what I can do though is I can put that down now. And another top plate to hold it all together. What colors do you play, Ulysses? Ta-da! Red, green. So you play a big and fast. Yeah, red, green's cool. I'm I'm the guy everybody hates. I play mostly blue or blue black. In fact, when back in the old day, I played a mono blue deck, and I named the deck Nickel and Dime because it was what's now. It's actually got a classification now. It's a Tim deck, and Tim was the prodigal sorcerer, and he was for 3 mana. He was a 1/1 creature that could tap to do 1 damage to any creature. And that was fantastic because really all I did, I had, well, when I first started, it was just him, and it was difficult with just him. But then when Ice Age came out, we got a second one. So there were 8 that I could put together that would all tap to do 1 damage. And that made things a lot easier. Because basically, once I got 3 of those down, no one was getting 3 or 4 of those down. No one was getting the creature down on the board ever again. And while I was waiting for him to get down, it was entirely a counterspell deck, which people tend to hate. Yes, blue is super annoying. Absolutely. You are 100% correct. And I know this. Now, actually, recently, I have been playing a really good red-white deck. It's a red-white enchantment deck that has been working out quite well. Now, here's where I'm just going to guess. With that red-white deck, I can get down a 1/1 red creature. I can't remember what his name is. 1/1 red creature on turn 1 that will get an extra +1/+1 for every enchantment that's on him. Then on turn 2, I can give him Ordeal of Heliod. And Ordeal of Heliod, every time he attacks, he gets +1/+1 up to a total of 3, at which point he gives me 10 life. Ordeal of Heliod gives me 10 life. And So on turn 2, I'm hitting you with a 3/3. Then on turn 4, I can give him a Nimbus Wings enchantment, which will turn him on turn 4, turn 3. Nimbus Wings enchantment, which will turn him into a 6/5 when he attacks, or actually 6/7 when he attacks. So on turn 3, I'm hitting you with a 6/7 creature. There's a lot of them like that, and they don't. It's not. That doesn't have to be a red one to start it off with. But any creature that gives you +1/+1 for each enchantment, Ordeal of Heliod gives you an extra +1/+1 each time you attack. And then any other enchantments that give you pluses. So, Nimbus Wings, for the price of 2, it gives you +1/+2. But because your creature gets +1/+1 extra, it's like you're getting +2/+3. So you can have literally 2 mana out on the table and have like a 5/6 creature flying. And there are other ones for the cost of 2 mana or maybe even 3 mana. They'll give you like Vigilance or First Strike and +1/+1. Your younger brother uses a black and blue deck. It seems to be working for him. Yeah, black and blue, all about control, right? The blue for your counter spells and for your card advantage. Blue, you really want to use the card advantage in blue. And then black is really for controlling the board. You don't really want to be doing damage with your black cards, because in that kind of a deck, that's not what they're made for. What you want to be using your black cards for is removals, destroy target creature or things of that nature. Black is very powerful in that respect. Of course, you are talking to a guy who's just admitted that he's doing crappy in the tournaments that he's played in recently. So, take what I say with a grain of salt. It would be nice to have them level. He only uses the deck with friends, so he's not expecting to go to tourneys. Whatever you like. I kind of wish I had more time here to play games. I've actually, since I got here, I've gotten back in with a crowd that actually plays board games, which is really nice. I haven't really played a lot of board games since I was young, and I kind of miss it. There we go. A full wall. Yay! And definitely definitely putting up those full popsicle sticks and then just oh wow, that worked perfectly. And then just putting the crossbars part way up. I think that works the best. It's the fastest. I think it's the most stable. It's not the right way to do it as far as construction goes, but I should actually be putting the upright there and then putting two shorter pieces beside each one of them. I think they're called cripple studs. And then putting my box on top of that. But, oh well. One of my friends uses a goblin deck, which is a really annoying. Yeah. Couple things about a goblin deck. First of all, you really got to know which cards to go after and which cards not to. And I don't know all of the goblins anymore, but there are, specific goblins which give all of the other goblins bonuses. You need to get rid of those. And then the rest of the goblins, I mean, as long as they're not pumped up, goblins by themselves are crappy. So they're a lot easier to take care of. They tend to be, 1/1, 1/2, 2/1 type of creatures. Unless you're not, goblin mutant or something. That's, what is he, a 5/3? A 5/3 who can't attack if there's anything greater than a 3 toughness or power on the board or something like that. It's the ones that power up the goblins that are a real pain in the patut. I remember when was it the Dark Fallen Empires? I remember when Fallen Empires came out, and Thalids, I think it was that first came out. Yeah, not Slivers. Slivers came out after. And no one had seen the Thalid mechanic before. And I started bringing out all these counters and putting them on my cards. And the guys kept asking, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And I kept telling them, "Read the cards." And they didn't really understand what the heck was going on until I attacked, and all of the counters turned into, I had like 50 counters or something stupid like that. And they all turned into 1/1 creatures. And then people didn't like me anymore. Then they learned how to play. Ow! Play against Thalid decks real quick. There we go. going to have to cut a lot of these at 1.5 inches, I can see. Oh, that's pretty darn close, isn't it? Wow. Oh yeah, read that already. Oh yeah, so I need this to be 2 inches up. 2 inches and then 1.5 inches. There we go. Need to know where to put it. So my intention here is to try and get all of these pieces up tonight or before Thursday night, so that when we come back on Thursday night, we will have all of these walls up and we can start sheathing on Thursday night. And then by next Tuesday when we come back, I'll have all of the walls sheathed, and we can actually start on the second floor, which should be a lot shorter, because the second floor only has a couple of rooms in it. The second floor on the roof kind of thing. Now that means I'm going to have a lot of work to do over the weekend. Because, and well, probably a lot of work tonight and tomorrow night too, because I don't think in the 2 hours that we've got allotted here, I am going to get, oh, I did that. Crap. I made a mistake. I put my cap plate down too far, and I've got to take it off. I have way too many Magic the Gathering cards, though I might take a local card shop and try and trade for some better ones. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Everyone has way too many Magic cards, and they're way too expensive. That's why I got out of the hobby, because it was literally way too expensive. Oh man. Dummy! Yeah, I put this down to the end, and I needed to leave room on the end for the cap plate coming the other way. And I didn't. So I had to take it all off. Never cut towards yourself. Always cut towards an elf. That actually comes from something else. It's never cut towards your thumb. Always cut towards your chum. You can always get another chum. You can never get another thumb. That is a very old saying. My glue stick's not going to go very far at all if I keep wasting it like that. All right, let's try this again. Oh, now that's really interesting. Ah! Oh, I see what's going on. I actually probably could have. So the problem is the floor, there's just a little pop in the floor there. And you know what I'm going to do? This is not really the right thing to do, but I'm going to do it anyway. The hell with it. So the cap plates don't quite meet up. The cap plate on the one behind is just like one popsicle stick width lower than this one here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just gluing these two together here. And then I'll continue the cap plate down this way. It's annoying. I needed to be a lot more precise on this floor than I was. I mean, I can make it all look fine in the end, but it'd be nicer if I just did it all right in the first place, eh? Do it right the first time. That's what Mike Holmes always says. That fit perfectly. Which of course means the next one's not going to fit though, because these things are not 3 inches apart. Oh, hey, wow. They're 3/4 of an inch apart. Or sorry, not 3 inches, 1.5 inches. They're 3/4 of an inch apart, which means all I got to do is leave one, and that's perfect. Haha! Something finally worked. Yay! Now that's going to look weird if it makes it into the time lapse. Me going yay! And now it's going to look weird twice. So I've never used time-lapse software before, so I don't know exactly what it's going to do. But I'm kind of hoping that I will get 1 second out of every minute. It's really kind of what I'm looking for, is like a full second of video out of every minute of video that I have taken. So it'll turn 60 minutes into 60 seconds. So it'll turn an hour into a minute. So I'll take those 3-hour videos that I've got there and cut them down to 3-minute videos, and that should be far more impressive. If that's still too long, I'll cut it down to a half a second every minute. Holy crap. Now, why did that work so well? That's just weird. Whenever something works well, I'm suspect. That was happening at work too. Our data was coming back. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to actually cut one that's 2 inches long. Ah, there you go. There's one that's 2 inches long right there, so that I can mark these things. I need one that's 2 inches and one that's 1.5 inches. I think that's 1.5 inches right there. It's just over 1.5 inches. That's interesting. There you go. That's 1.5 inches there. So what I can do now is, rather than pulling out that ruler every time, I can just pull out these template markers and get things in the right place. Perfect. You know what I probably want to do, though, before I go much further? In fact, before I actually glue this one into its spot, I'm going to do this. I actually have to do the garage doors there, because I want to get this part done before I do this part. Otherwise, I'm kind of blocking myself. So I want to kind of work. I think I'll come up here, I'll do this, and then I'll do this wall here. Yeah, this wall here. There. And then work back this way. And then I'll flip it around and do that other side later. Just so I'm not blocking myself. Or actually, more likely is I'll do that side off of camera and I'll just go to the other side of the table. There we go. Should be. Yeah, it's essentially the same. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there for now. And I now have to do, how long is this? Okay, so that's shorter, so that's good. Need is, okay. I watched the Fallout 4 gameplay trailer again, and I'm more worried now that it will be too action for me. Did you like Fallout 3? Because to me, the action in it looks the same as Fallout 3. Yeah, you said you liked Fallout 3 New Vegas, right? I honestly think that it's going to be very similar, at least, you know, action-wise, gameplay-wise, to Fallout 3 New Vegas. I don't know. You might be right. It might be more focused on action. Personally, I didn't get that from the trailer, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. I mean, keep in mind, on those trailers, they are going to focus a lot on the action because the action appears to make it exciting. And that's what they're really trying to do, is to convince people that it's going to be exciting. Now, I'm just going to check the height of my garage door. Give me one sec. So my garage door, the opening of my garage door is 7 feet high. So 7 feet high is 3.5 inches. They may be trying to show more action to make the trailer. Yeah, that's what I think is going on. So 3.5 inches. Again, I'm going to make a. Actually, I'm just going to do. There we go. 3.5 inches is there. I'm going to walk out of frame again for a second, sorry. There we go. No. Perfect. Okay. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need 6 of these. Good. More. Time to sweep up this floor. And I just made 7. Oh well. Okay. That's good. Now, theoretically, I should put a header in here too, but you know what? I don't think I'm going to bother. I was going to make this, you know, fairly standard construction, but now that I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, why bother? It's a lot of extra. It's a lot of extra wood popsicle sticks for no particular reason. I mean, sure, I can make the bones of this thing exactly the same as a regular house, but I don't really need to. So that's good there. So a lot of custom work here now, actually, which is interesting. Like very custom. Come on. Oh, interesting. This one doesn't have a name on it. Coke said that campaign recently where they put different names like, you know, brother, sister, or bro, sis, superstar, legend, all that kind of stuff on the cans. While this is there, I will transfer my lines. There we go. all those up. There we go. Okay. That one is just a tiny bit long, which means I have to make this one just a tiny bit shorter to make up for it. I wanted to ask something, but I can't remember. I can't remember either, man. My clairvoyance module is on the fritz right now. I got a bug in the code somewhere. But as soon as you remember, I will. Now, I'm actually going to keep this one short. Oh, hold on a second. Hold the phone. There we go. Let's make sure I get this right this time. This anvil cutter is nice and all, but I wonder if I can. I got a little bit of play in it. I'm wondering if I can take that out somehow. Okay. If you're going to ask what the price of the tea in China is, I have no idea. And that is a very old joke. And unless you're older than me, you probably will not get. See, I shouldn't have put that there. I should have put it there. There we go. What did I do with it? There it is. I say that all the time, and I'm a lot younger than you. Hey, is the video stuck? What the heck is going on there? It looks like I'm frozen. Do I need to refresh something? Something looks really weird there. We can't be at the 2-hour mark already. Although I do have to say, time goes a lot faster than I would have thought it had gone, would have gone. Oh, you know what I did? I didn't transfer my marks. It's frozen. Okay. Let me see what's going on here. Well, on the Google Hangout, it appears to be good. I'm just going to refresh the YouTube stream and see what it does. Okay. Okay, it's back for me. I just had to refresh the YouTube stream. So if yours looks frozen, try refreshing the YouTube stream, and hopefully it'll come back. You notice how in every case here, I've always started with the garage. Wonder if that tells you something. Most important room in the house to me. There we go. Now I don't need this anymore, so I can start. I'm going to actually break that up just a little bit. So I can start putting top plate on. Top plate makes sure that the whole thing stays together. Perfect. Makes it a lot more rigid. How did I do that? Swear to God, I am not good at this. I'll leave that like that, just to fix that. And it'll get hidden under the sheathing anyway, so. There we go. Just to make it as close as possible. Now this time I leave that so that I can tie this into that. Oh, it's going to go that way. Right. Okay. So I'm just going to leave that complete, and I'll finish that later. Actually, because I've got that done now, I can put this up, and I can finish this out here. So we've been going an hour and a half now, and this is all I got done. Holy crap. There we go. Yeah, that really helps. Okay. It kind of doesn't work in either direction, so. Hey, more new people in the stream. I see you. Hello. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to move that over just the tiniest little bit, because it's like a 1/16 of an inch off of where my my stick frame placement is. So if I don't worry, oh crap, no. If I don't worry so much about the exact placement of the window, then I'll get to use the jig the way it was meant to be used, and I will keep everything in square as much as possible, and I like things in square as much as possible. There we go. Now I can mark my 2-inch, 1.5 again. Now I need a couple more that are 1.5 inches. And since I kept this, I can use it as a template. Dun, dun, dun. Keep my template. suppose I should have test fit these first, since I have been wrong before. And look, I am wrong again. That's interesting. Oh well, that's okay. So let's do this way instead. I'll cut here, here, there. See how that works. And that's too big. I am half the width of a popsicle stick too big. Half the thickness of a popsicle stick too big. There we go. Ta-da! 5th time's the charm. Check that. That fit. Fit very tight, apparently. Oh, come on. There. What the? All right. Close enough. Close enough for government work. That is just an expression. I do not think any less of our government's work. Canadian government, however, that is a completely different story. And before anyone goes and starts yelling at me, I am Canadian. Of course, I guess that could start people yelling at me. I was going to suggest you play some music, but then you might be covered. Yeah, I know. I was thinking about that too. I'd love to have some music playing in the background, but then YouTube would ban my videos. In the end, I mean, it's great. I really enjoy having these conversations. It's actually kind of cathartic for me. But in the end, when all is said and done, I'm going to be cutting this whole thing down, like I said, into a time-lapse video. I'll put some music against it then. But we've got, oh Lord, 2, 4, 6, 8, 11. We got about 12 hours of video on this project so far, and I don't think anybody's going to sit through the whole thing after the fact to watch this slowly come together. I think they're going to want to see it come together much, much faster than it is. And I do not blame them for that. So I'm going to give people what they want. I mean, I would want the same thing. Again, I'm going to mark roughly where this goes, and then I'm going to move it based on the... Oh, actually, that's pretty perfect right there. Okay. I did it again. I cut one and then didn't cut the second one at the same time. I really need to cut both ends of this at the same time so that everything fits correctly. And I have little strands of glue everywhere, like spider webs. Can you guys hear the kids screaming outside? Maybe put the videos into multiple parts. What do you mean, the time-lapse videos? Probably, I don't know, maybe. It depends on how long it gets, because if I do 1 second out of every minute, that still is a 12-minute video to get to here. So you know what? That's too long. I figured that out. That's too long. So I might even be half a second every minute, and that's a 6-minute video to get to here. That's still long. I don't know. Are people going to want to sit through, however many hours this, or well, minutes? I don't know how long people are going to want to sit to see a video of a popsicle stick mansion being built. I got to figure that out. That is my dilemma right now. So would you want to sit through 12 minutes of time lapse to get to here? I'm not sure you would. I'm not sure anyone would. In fact, I don't even think someone would want to sit through 6 minutes of time lapse to get to here. I'm thinking 1 minute of time lapse to get to here. Because like I said, as stimulating as our conversation is, they're not going to have it in the time lapse. And people that come here after the fact aren't coming here to listen to us gab. They're coming here to see a popsicle stick mansion get built. And they don't want to stick around forever. Go. I'm going to leave that down for the time being because I think I want to move up to here. In fact, to be honest, I probably want to go straight to here. And for this, I can actually do a full wall. One of the few places I actually get to do a full wall. I guess you can decide how long the time lapse will be when you have the whole thing built. Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm going to have to do. When I look at how long the footage is and how long it'll collapse down to, I'm going to have to make that decision. I've also got a buddy that's who's a really big YouTuber, and he really knows this stuff. I'm a little reluctant to ask him things because, I mean, he's my friend first and foremost, and I don't want to mooch off him. But I suppose I can ask him how long a time lapse should be and keep people's interest. Although I gotta say, the number of views for the video so far is a lot higher than I would have expected. I don't know how long. I haven't checked the analytics to see how long they are engaging and how long before they tune out. But I'm kind of impressed with how long or how many people are watching so far. Especially when you consider I've only got like, I don't know, 145 odd subscribers. Should check that, see how many I've got now. I know it changes a lot. Yeah, that'll be interesting to know. Come back, you know, years later when I'm big and famous and see how many subscribers I had at the time. 147 subscribers I have right now, 58 videos up. So who knows, you know, when I've got a million subscribers someday, I'll come back here and say, oh, I remember when I only had 147. That's just because people haven't found my genius yet. Because, you know, I am a genius. I'm a legend in my own mind. Just ask me, I'll tell you. Perfect. Yeah, those kids, if you can hear them screaming in the background, you'd swear to God they're in pain, but they're not. They're happy. That is their happy screaming. That's laughing. Weird freaking kids. Yep, 147 subscribers. That's it. I have to admit, I don't normally sit around with the garage door open. I'm only doing it because, well, I mean, I only do it when I'm in the garage working. And normally I'm working, you know, on Saturday afternoon kind of things, and it's a little quieter around here. Normally on weeknights I'm upstairs playing video games. Hey, you should take a look at Star Wars: The Old Republic online. There's a good video game, and it's free to play. Well, I mean, it's classed as free to play, right? It is free to play, you know, for the most part. If you want to get up into the higher levels, you got to pay for stuff, but you could play the game for free forever, and no one would ever bother you. That's one of my favorites, actually. Frickin' yay. Some of these popsicle sticks, you can feel it. They're too thick, and I built my tolerances a little too tight in this jig here. That's cool, man. If you like Star Wars at all, it's really good that way. Like, I mean, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I think we talked about that before. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, so for me, it's pretty big. And there's only one other role-playing type game of that kind of a caliber. And actually, I'm not even sure it's that kind of a caliber. But that's free, and that would be Dungeons and Dragons Online. And that one, even in that, you get into the where you have to pay situations a lot faster than you do with Star Wars: The Old Republic Online. Star Wars: The Old Republic Online, you've got a lot of content before you actually have to start paying. There we go. Starting to look good, eh? Huh? Stuff going up. Oh wow, my video froze again. That is weird. There we go. So I told you before, my wife's down in Florida. I keep asking her to jump in and join the chat and watch for a little while, but she kind of has no interest in this kind of stuff. She's pretty busy down in Florida anyway. Mostly busy trying not to kill her mother. And Rita, if you're ever watching this, I love you. Wow. That is warped. It happens a lot in these popsicle sticks. One of the biggest reasons why it doesn't fit the way it should is because they're warped just a little. I said it before, quality control in these popsicle sticks leaves a little bit to be desired, but they are popsicle sticks, so. Come on. Kind of bummed that Star Wars was a subscription thing instead of a one-time thing. Yeah, all of the massively multiplayer role-playing game type games are going to be a subscription thing. There are servers, big servers to maintain for these. Plus, they use the subscription money to fund the upkeep, the new development, new content. And they do actually put out a fair bit of new content, which is nice. Now, I'm going to have to ask my wife. I don't know if we want a door here or just a hallway. I mean, I'm kind of two minds. I kind of like the idea of a door in the case that we have guests and keeping it a private area. But we also don't really have guests often. So does it matter? I mean, one of the things I could do, I couldn't do it here, but I think in real life, I'd actually have a lot of pocket doors, pocket sliding doors. I really like pocket sliding doors. Our last house, we had a pocket door going from our walk-through closet to our master bathroom. And that really worked well. I was very, very happy with that. Oh, look at that. Well, at the least, I can put a cap plate on this, because no matter what, I'm going to need a cap plate. Here's a question. Oh, wow. I wonder if I just do that. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that, and then I'm just going to cap plate over the two of them. Save myself a little bit. I think Guild Wars 2 is the only one that I know that is the upfront cost, but has the whole in-game market. And I think an expansion pack is coming out. Is it massively multiplayer though? Are they? Do they maintain servers that you play on? Because that's really difficult and expensive to do. And most companies won't do it for a one-time fee. Can't do it for a one-time fee because it's so expensive. They go bankrupt. I've never played Guild Wars, so I don't know. I know there are a lot of games where they don't really maintain servers, where one of the players will act as the server, and that's a lot easier because then they got no ongoing costs. Interesting. I'd be interested to know how they can afford it. Is that doing what I think it's doing? I think it did. I'm pretty sure it did. That's more than a little annoying. It for some reason the bottom plate twisted on me. I mean, I can fix it with the cap plate, but it's still annoying. There we go. Undo that, and then this. Wow, I can really feel the heat of this through the popsicle stick. That's really interesting. Oh, wow, look at that. You remember, I don't know if you, holy crap. I don't know if you've seen some of my earlier test videos, but I was having trouble with not putting enough glue on these stanchions here, these studs, and it looks like I'm having the same problem again. Did I ever watch the show Defiance? Yeah, I watched I don't know, the first six or 10 episodes of Defiance. And I liked it. Actually, no, I guess I watched the whole first season to the season finale. And I liked it well enough. Did it get picked up for a second season? I don't know. There were some things in it that I wasn't completely fond of. Like, they went a little weird with the girl at the end of the first season, and I thought that was pretty quick to do that. In fact, I honestly thought they went through plot lines pretty quick, like faster than they should have. Because honestly, you know, your plot lines are your bread and butter, right? They're what keep people coming back. And I know you want variety in your plot lines, but you do too much too fast. There we go. And it just feels, okay, that's good. It just feels like you haven't done the plot lines justice. You know, you haven't given them their full due, kind of a thing. It feels rushed. And I guess that's what I felt like at the end of the first season of Defiance. I stopped watching it. There was like a year between season 1 and season 2. Oh, so they did do a season 2. Well, I haven't seen the season 2 yet. I suppose I should try to watch it. So I shouldn't need that for a while, I don't think. Because now we're kind of getting out into the great room area. Oh, this is going to be fun. So I have two very short walls here. Okay. I don't mind waiting extra time between seasons if, you know, something's going on. I can get back into a show. I watched Battlestar Galactica, the very first Battlestar Galactica back in the 1970s. And that one was a weird one because Lucasfilm actually sued them after the first season, or I guess during the first season, because they thought that Battlestar Galactica was too much like Star Wars. And I don't agree. I'm a big Star Trek fan and all, but I don't agree. So it was like, I think 2 years, 2 years or 2.5 years after the first season ended, 2 years, I think, after the first season ended, before they were able to come out with a second season. And I kind of say that in air quotes, because they called it at that point Galactica 1980 because there was so much time between the two. And they essentially made it a different show. Ow! Burn meter. And I would have rather have had the first show continue a little more. So the original Battlestar Galactica is good. That's 1978 Battlestar Galactica. And I'll be honest, I didn't mind at all Galactica 1980 either. Most people hated it. It was a lot more campy. It was definitely a different show than the original Battlestar Galactica was. But all in all, I thought it was good. It might not hold up well today. But if you go to the new Battlestar Galactica, the one with Edward James Olmos and Katie Sackhoff, the first season of that was the best. I thoroughly enjoyed the first season of that. Yeah, I might in the time lapse. Yeah, I might put a burn counter. That's a good idea. I just have to remember when and where. Yeah, the first season of the new Battlestar Galactica was very good. After that, so I've said before, I'm a former soldier, and when they started introducing the crew of the Pegasus, the military people in there started doing things that, in my estimation, no real military person would ever do. And I know it is extreme circumstances, but I can see the enlisted personnel having discipline problems, but not the officers. And who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just being a little too altruistic about military life. But it broke me out of the story, and when they, I think it was the start of the third season, they just lost me. So I haven't seen, I've seen the first 2.5 seasons, I guess, and then that's it. Yeah, the Battlestar Galactica from the late 70s. It's good, but it's a lot. It's campy. So just be. Oh wow, that's interesting. Just be prepared for that. Is all. And there's one called Galactica 1980. It's even campier. So as long as you're prepared for that and go into it with your eyes wide shut, you'll be fine. I'm going to try a different way of doing this. See if it works any better. Oh, well, it looks like we're past our 8 o'clock cutoff time. I'm okay with staying if you are, though. I got to keep doing this anyway. I mean, even if we stop, I would just go get my supper and come back and. Oh, geez, I better check this. Okay. I forgot to turn my phone up, my ringer up. I still haven't had my supper yet. Hey, it's 11:15. Oh, so you're in the Eastern time zone then, eh? I actually used to live in that time zone. Before I came here, I was in Ottawa, Canada. And my wife, while she's in Florida, she's in that time zone right now. Well, what I'll probably do then is I'll stay while you stay here talking to me. And then when you have to go, I will actually go eat, and I'll shut off the cameras, and then I'll probably come back and do a couple more hours tonight off of camera, because there's not going to be that much. I'm not going to make that much progress off of camera. You know what I just did, dummy? I should have done this first. And that. Oh, Oh, I can make that work. Yeah. See, now I gotta, because I did that, I've gotta kind of reach around here. I think I know what I might do here too. Yeah, I think I'm gonna make that window just a little bit smaller than I had anticipated. Tiny bit. So I can get 2 studs on either side. Yeah, see, that's not enough glue right there. Now, this window should only be 2 feet off the floor, which is 1 inch. Which means right there. The stream didn't get all laggy at the 2-hour point. Yeah, you're right, it didn't. Yeah, I don't know what the heck. I don't know. I'm confused. Who knows? Well, that didn't work. Oh, hey, so just out of curiosity, Ulysses, how did you find me? I'd be interested to know what got you to come here. Since you're the only person who's talking to me. That works. 1 inch. 1 inch, yes. And we'll make it 2.5 inches. Yes. Big, big window in here. Not that one. Come on, get out there. I think I glued this one in. I'm certain I glued this one in. I do that from time to time. Last year when Barnacles did his Vlogger Fair video, and he said to check out your channel, I saw the Star Wars stuff and decided, oh, thank you. I very much appreciate that. Hey, that reminds me, Vlogger Fair is coming up again. I'm going to have to check. I would very much like to go to that again. Yeah, Barnacles is a good guy. probably one of my best friends here. I'm finding it very hard to make friends here. I don't know what it is. People are, I don't know, not interested in making friends around here, I guess. Either that or I'm just an ass. I don't know. Chronicles will probably tell you it's just that I'm an ass. Oh, shoot. Came just a tiny bit too far on that one, which means I'm going to have to kind of improvise again. That didn't actually burn me, but I dropped it to make sure that it didn't. Oh, man. I waste a lot of glue that way. There we go. Yeah, I'm really surprised too. It's only well, actually, coming up on 2 years since I've been here. Wife and I left everything back in Ottawa. She actually gave up a lot more than I did to come here. She hasn't been allowed to work since we got here because of the type of visa that I'm on. I'm on a temporary work visa right now, and I have to apply for my green card through work. But stuff that the data that they want is like difficult. So I haven't gotten everything together yet. Which is annoying. I am glad I test fit that. Aha. Much better. Yeah, so in October it'll be 2 years that she hasn't been allowed to work. And that's hard on a person. And I very much appreciate the fact that she has stuck by me. Do you know when Blogger Fair is this year? One of my friends has decided on a college because he's on an educational visa and would have been forced to leave if he didn't pick a college. Has had to decide. Oh yeah. I gotta say, I think I said something to this effect before. I've lived in a lot of countries in the world. I've lived in many places in Canada, and I've lived in many other countries around the world. Now, granted, the other countries that I lived in, I was with the military at the time, so I didn't really become part of the political or geopolitical structure in those countries. Other than Canada, I'm extremely well versed in what's going on in Canada. But the United States, and where I am right now, specifically in the United States, I think is the best place in the world to live. I very much enjoy living here. The political structure, the climate. Oh my God, I love the climate here. Yeah, that cap plate really helps keep things in line. My first completed room! Woohoo! Blogger Fair is August 22nd and 23rd. I should be able to go to that. Now I have to talk to Chris and get tickets. Uh-huh. I really need that. I'm gonna see if Jerry's going again this year. I don't know if he will or not. I had a good time last year. I helped Jerry run the 3D printing booth. Oh, come on, stay down. What the heck? Yeah, like I said, I've experienced a lot of different ones. So this isn't just bravado talking. And I honestly and truly believe this is the best country in the world. I know some of my friends back in Canada, if they ever see this, they'll hate me for saying that because they're fiercely patriotic. And don't get me wrong, I'm patriotic too. But patriotic doesn't mean that you necessarily have to be blind or stupid. I mean, let's face it, I joined the army and I fought for my country for 12 years. I'm pretty sure there are very few people who are more patriotic than I am. The list of guests says Barnacles. Jay's 2 cents. Hey, Jay. Cool. And Linus. Good guys. Obviously, Chris is going to be there too. Hey, did you see the geek out that I did with Chris and Jerry? That was a lot of fun. It was a while ago. Chris invited me over to his place to take a look at his stormtrooper outfit. Because his outfit is a little too big for him. And I could fix it for him. I just haven't ever taken the time because it's actually a fair bit of work to fix what he needs fixed. Yeah, see, I'll probably do the same thing with this. But what I want to do here, yeah, that actually worked quite well on that other one. Where I cut down that other one just a little bit, I'm not going to on this one. Because that's my front door, and my front door is going to be it's a double door, 6 feet wide. I want a big front door. I can't even remember when it was now. Got to be 6 months ago at least. We had a good time. This was before Chris's baby was born. He told me at the time what the name was going to be, but I couldn't tell anybody. What a cool name for a kid. Jedi. I think he's the first person, at least the first person I know of, that has named a child Jedi. And he got his wife to agree to it, which blew my mind. His wife is not, she's a great person, but she's not as big of a Star Wars fan as he is. Chris Perillo, Locker Gnome, I think he calls himself. He'll have it up on his YouTube channel, I'm pretty certain. I don't know, Jerry Mike Cross posted on his too. Do a Google or do a YouTube search for Geek Out Chris Perillo or Chris Perillo Geek Out or something like that. Should find it. Problem is, I don't know which one it was. He might have put my name in it. He had us trying different flavors of chips and stuff. And we were talking about the new phones that were coming out at the time. Pretty sure I gave my rant on on video piracy, downloading videos. I have pretty strongly held beliefs on downloading videos. And they're not what most people would think. I'm not one of these altruistic guys who says, "Oh my God, you have to feed the starving artists." It essentially comes out to the same thing, but I say it for more selfish reasons. You've probably heard the rant already. My front door. Huh? Huh? This one just felt thin, so I put it in one of the ones that I know is a problem spot. That one was thicker, a lot thicker actually. So is this one. So it's gonna be tight. Oh, wow. Apparently, I know nothing, Jon Snow. So I will easily have all of the walls up by Thursday night. Did I do it again? I think I did. Keep, oh, that's good. I keep canting this bottom plate just a tiny bit. Oh, wow. Helps if they're all glued down. Night, man. I'm probably going to sign off right now, too, and go have my supper, finally. And I'll finish the rest of this off camera, because I think everyone has, even for the time left, I think everyone's got enough for what they want here. So thanks for talking with me again, and I'll talk to you later, man. I'm just going to, for anybody who's still left here, I'm just going to get this one finished and down, and then I'll drop the stream for the evening. There we go. And so we're back on Thursday night from 6 to 8, at which time we will be sheathing the walls. I'm going to put the top plates on those two. When we come back Thursday night, we will have, I'll have all of the walls in place, and we will sheathe them. We have new people in the channel now. Just as we're about to sign off for the night, we have new people in the channel. If the new person wants to say hi, or people, I guess it looks like a couple people. If you want to say hi, I might stick around and chat for a little while. But if you don't say anything, then I am going to go eat. I'm going to do the same thing again, actually. Well, for the new people that just came into the channel, you can go back and watch this whole video, or there are 6 or 7 other videos in this series so far, which show what I've had to do to get to this stage. There's actually, I was just talking about this earlier, there's actually, well, with this 2.5 hours, we're coming up very close on 20 hours of working time, and probably a good 12 hours of video in the series. So you can go back and watch the other pieces if you want. I will be here every Tuesday night and Thursday night until this is done, 6 to 8 p.m. And when this is all done, I will be creating a time-lapse video, so you don't have to sit through dozens of hours of footage. I'll condense the whole thing down into about 10 minutes, or probably less. So please come back and join me Thursday night at 6 o'clock Pacific time, which is 9 o'clock Eastern time, at which point I will have all of these walls ready to start sheeting. All right. Thanks for joining me, guys. Watch the other videos and come on back here on Thursday night. Bye.